What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now, it is 5:03 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and we currently have a nuclear bomber flying over the Black Hills of South Dakota and Wyoming. So, what you're looking at here is the flight path of a B 52 Stratofortress and also an aerial refueler that took off from Spokane, Washington. And I believe that this aerial refueler met the B 52 in the air somewhere near Broadus, Montana, and refueled it. And it was flying over the Black Hills and the Badlands. So our military is on high alert. Our nuclear forces are on high alert. We have that nationwide emergency alert system test tomorrow at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to last as long as 30 minutes to 2:50 p.m. Eastern Time. And everybody here in the US is going to get an emergency alert on their phone or TV or radio, or all three if you have all three. So I'm going to be broadcasting live tomorrow around 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be covering this emergency alert system test. I hope you guys will join me for that. But as you guys can see, our nuclear forces are on high alert. Okay, for the last 2 months, we've seen just a record amount of nuclear bombers, of nuclear war command and control planes, presidential doomsday planes. It's every single day. Okay, this is just not normal at all. Even when the war in Ukraine started, this level of activity was not seen. Okay, this is something that I personally haven't seen the last 3 years that I've been following flights with flight trackers. And another thing too, with this nationwide emergency alert system test tomorrow, I've gotten emails from several people, including some elderly people, who told me that in their entire life they haven't had a nationwide emergency alert system test. Okay, I got an email from someone in their 70s, okay, lifelong resident of America, telling me that they've never experienced a nationwide emergency alert system test in their whole life. Okay, this person is in their 70s. Okay, so do the math. Okay, that's from 1950 until now. They've never experienced a nationwide emergency alert system test, even during the entire Cold War, which this person lived through and grew up during. Okay, and even during the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Able Archer crisis. So, guys, I'm telling you that tensions now between Russia and the US are the highest ever in history, and we are the closest ever to nuclear war. Okay, so make sure you have a nuclear war survival plan. Make sure you have a fallout shelter. Make sure you understand the basics of radiation protection. Okay, how you can protect yourself. Understand the basics of fallout radiation and nuclear war. You don't have to have a bunker buried in your backyard. You don't need anything fancy. You just need a solid structure, a basement, something underground that you can shelter in for 2 weeks, and that's going to be enough to save you from acute radiation sickness, which is not something you want to get. It's a slow and painful death, okay, where your body literally dies, your flesh dies, okay? So, a good way to learn about radiation protection and nuclear war is my How to Survive Nuclear War series here on YouTube. You can also check my website, NYPrepper.com. There's a link in the description below this video. I have free information on my website, but check out my How to Survive Nuclear War series. I have a separate playlist for that. And also check out my Nuclear War Survival series. I have probably I would say 50 plus videos on nuclear war survival. So you can start watching through my videos and you'll learn a lot about it if you have no clue. Okay. And it's free of charge. I'm not charging you for that. So we have some major breaking news. The Pentagon has issued a warning to Congress saying that they're running low on funds for Ukraine, that they only have $5 billion left in money to spend on weapons for Ukraine, which is only going to be enough for another 6 months. So if Congress doesn't approve more aid to Ukraine, then it's going to dry up after 6 months. Okay. We also have some breaking news that the U.S. Army is ready to quickly send ATACMS missiles to Ukraine after Biden's approval. And this is coming from the Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Army for Procurement, Doug Bush. He said, "We are ready to act quickly." Okay, so the Army is ready to immediately send the ATACMS, which are the 200-mile short-range missiles. Okay, they have a 200-mile range that can be fired from the HIMARS. Okay, the HIMARS is the mobile rocket launcher that the U.S. gave to Ukraine. So with this missile, they can hit targets as far as 200 miles away, which would put all of Crimea under Ukraine's target possibilities, and also the Crimean Bridge. So they could strike very important areas with those ATACMS missiles that they normally wouldn't be able to reach with traditional artillery, which is like 20 miles max or 50 miles with the Gimler's missiles that they currently have for the HIMARS. Apparently, Biden held a phone call with allies and partners today to coordinate continued support for Ukraine. And the NATO Secretary General, after speaking with Biden and NATO leaders, said that we are committed to supporting Ukraine no matter what it takes. Okay, so NATO and Biden are 100% committed to making sure that Ukraine wins the war. So that tells you everything you need to know. Okay, there's not going to be any peace deals. There's not going to be any de-escalation because both sides are sticking to their guns. Okay, it's too late for Russia to back down because Putin is going to look stupid. Okay, he's going to look weak. Ukraine is not going to back down because their country has been destroyed, and any Ukrainian leader that would sign a peace agreement would essentially be signing their, suicide, political suicide. Okay, if they sign any kind of peace deal, they're going to immediately get voted out or kicked out. Okay, because the Ukrainians are mad that their country has been destroyed. So therefore, Ukraine is not going to back down, and America is not going to back down either, because they see this as an opportunity to collapse Russia, because Russia is on the verge of collapse. Okay, they have a very weak currency now. The ruble has been going down steadily. Their military has been eviscerated, and Russia's running out of all kinds of equipment. The only thing Russia has left is their nuclear forces and their fighter jets and their navy. That's it. Their land forces have been mostly eviscerated and depleted. So, if you're Putin at this stage, the use of nuclear weapons is very, very tempting. Okay, and we've heard a lot of threats coming from all the major public figures. Okay, in Russia, we had Lavrov, Maria Zakharova, Medvedev, all these characters in Russia threatening that, the US and the UK and Germany are all parties to the conflict because they're supplying cruise missiles and long range missiles that can hit Russia. So, the situation is just continuing to escalate, guys. Okay. We also have some breaking news coming out of Romania. Romania has announced that it will be deploying additional military forces to Kosovo due to rising tensions. Okay. So the situation with Serbia and Kosovo is still very tense. Okay. the State Department and the US government have not confirmed that Serbia has pulled its forces back. Okay, as far as we know, Serbia still has thousands and thousands of troops on the border of Kosovo, and they could be given the green light to invade at any moment. Okay, we also have some breaking news coming out of Belarus. The Belarusian army has begun checking their combat readiness of all of their armed forces. Movement of military equipment is planned and aviation will be used. This is coming from the RIA Novosti Russian government newspaper. Okay, so Belarus is doing a full-scale combat readiness check, and it's all happening at the same time as this nuclear war drill in Russia and here in the US. Okay, guys? So, just look at what's going on. Okay, the mainstream media is not going to tell you this, but just connect the dots. Okay, things are really, really bad right now. Tensions are extremely high, and you just connect the dots. Okay, there's so much going on. All right, all the doomsday plane activity, all the military movements. Okay, the stealth bombers going to Iceland, nuclear subs going to Norway, Britain moving fighter jets to Poland. Okay, all of these actions are basically forward deploying assets into the theater. Okay, so this is a very, very serious situation. We also have some breaking news coming out of Armenia. The Parliament of Armenia has ratified the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. So basically, Armenia is now officially recognizing the International Criminal Court, which means that Putin can no longer travel to Armenia or he would be arrested. Okay, so this is a huge blow to Putin and his henchmen. They had very strong control over the Caucasus, especially Armenia. Armenia was like their satellite country in the Caucasus, just like Belarus is in Eastern Europe. And now Putin has lost control of Armenia, Nagorno-Karabakh, and possibly soon Chechnya. All right. So I asked people to send me information about any unusual military activity in their area. So I want to read to you some emails that I've received just in the last 24 hours. I picked out some of the best ones here. Here we actually have a picture that a viewer sent to me from Missouri, and it shows a B-2 stealth bomber flying over this person's house. Okay, this is near Whiteman Air Force Base, which is the home of our stealth bombers. And this person said they saw 3 B-2s flying in the air with Strato tankers in the area, okay, on the flight radar. They were watching the Strato tankers, which are aerial refuelers. Obviously, the stealth bombers weren't on the radar, okay, but this person said they've never seen 3 stealth bombers flying around like that before. All right. So let me read to you some stuff here. So this is coming from the Panhandle of West Virginia. Okay, this person said at least 2 fighter jets zoomed past our home at what would be commonly called NOE, which is known as nape of the earth, commonly called treetop level. They could not have been any higher than 3,500 feet, and from what I could tell, there were 2 sets of them. I could, for obvious reasons, not tell you the type of fighter as it was dark, but I could see nighttime running lights as they came past our home. They swooped in from the southeast, heading north-northwest. I was on the 2nd floor of our cabin. Okay, so this person is actually retired Army, and the cabin that they live at is at 2,000 feet, and they saw 2 fighter jets fly over their house at around 3,500 feet. This person was guessing. So basically right above the treetops, okay, and they've never seen fighter jets there before. We also have a viewer from South Carolina. Yesterday, 2 military jets, F-16s, I think, flew over Newberry, South Carolina around 3 p.m. or so, low and fast, 2 of them. Just now there were 2 more. The first one was about 45 seconds in front of the other. I also live near the Greenville-Spartanburg International Airport, and there has been a lot more of the military cargo planes and helicopters in the area, usually in the early evenings. Just wanted to give you a heads up. The jets over Newberry, South Carolina, 2 days in a row is unusual. I have been working here for 3 years, and I've never seen them 2 days in a row. Here we have another person, this one coming from my state, Pennsylvania. I live in extreme southwestern Pennsylvania, and I've seen many refueling planes coming from the aerial refueling wing at the Pittsburgh airport. Also, I saw 6 Apache helicopters flying low near my house, and 4 Black Hawk helicopters and 2 Chinooks. This is very unusual, and I've lived here many years. Just thought I would share this with you. And then we have another viewer coming from Kentucky saying that they saw an AWACS and 2 Strato tankers over their area. This was in the Bowling Green area of Kentucky. So a lot of activity, guys. Okay, the military is on high alert, and you should be too. Okay, our government, our military, they have survival plans for nuclear war. Do you have a nuclear war survival plan? You better think of one, because you're not going to know about nuclear war until it happens. You're not going to have advance notice. You're just going to get an alert on your phone, and you're going to have 15 to 30 minutes to take shelter. Okay, and that's it. And if you don't know what to do, if you don't know how to protect yourself, it's going to be too late to watch NYPrepper's nuclear war survival videos. Okay, so just learn the basics. And I'm not saying nuclear war is definitely going to happen. I have no idea. I hope it doesn't. But things are really escalating, guys. And Putin is going to China this month to speak with Xi Jinping, which is pretty ominous. The last time he went to China was right before he invaded Ukraine. So something's definitely going on. Wanted to just give you this update. Okay, B-52 in the air today. Massive number of nuclear warplanes last night. And I'll probably be back later with another update for you guys. But until next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.